Bodine 52, how are you folks? In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about my top 5 first impressions on my 2021 Road Glide Limited. All right, to me, the most important thing is comfort. So let me tell you what I think about the comfort of this bike. So coming from an Ultra Limited that made you, I'm 6'2", 6'3", and I'm a big guy, so I felt extremely close to the tank, which made me put a Mustang seat on it, which, by the way, I love. I'll link that video in the description. And it set me back. But on this motorcycle, now it's probably because of the fairing and how the controls in that are further away from you, that as a tall guy makes you feel like it is more room. But it really does feel that way. Now, I kept the Mustang seat on it. I do not have highway pegs on it yet, but I will want those. That is definitely for sure. Hopefully you can see that. But just from a comfort perspective, I really like how you sit in this. Obviously, the seat helps, but the feeling of the openness is something that I really like. The ride. Now, as somebody that was always against the shark nose fairing, because I had a Batwing fairing on my Ultra Limited, I always heard the stories about how the Road Glide is a better bike to cut through the wind or long riding. And I was like, yeah, it's just those guys and gals that haven't had both bikes, right? And they hear that, so they continue to talk about that. So I'm not out on the interstate now because I want to enjoy my ride on some back roads here in the beautiful state of Michigan. But as I brought this bike home from the dealership, I did take the interstate back and was doing 70 or 75. It was a windy day, and I will tell you what, there is a major difference. If you have an Ultra and you're even thinking about going to a Road Glide, and by the way, I love both bikes. There's no doubt it's personal preference at the end of the day. But I will tell you, as you are passing, especially semis, and how you cut through the wind, there is a difference, no doubt, especially when you are going by trucks. You do not get any of that shake. You know, everybody always says, well, if you have an Ultra, the bike is shaking like crazy when you go by a truck. That's not the case, folks. It really is not. But I will tell you, this bike is night and day difference when you're riding out on the interstate. One of the other things that I really do like about this motorcycle, in addition to the feeling like I'm sitting back further and the bike and controls are further out, at first I was a little bit concerned about that, but I got to tell you, it is really simple, especially as you use the toggles, which I'm somewhat used to on my 2018, but it's really simple with the GPS. And I'm not going to go through any GPS training here, just kind of trying to get you an idea of what I like about it. You know, it's really simple when you're riding. It can go over to the music. This is toggling back and forth, right? And you can go ahead and click on the music, and then you're there. You can go ahead and click home again, and then you can go ahead and click into the navigation system. And you saw how quick the navigation came up, right? Easy to pick a destination, has time on it, the roads are clear. This one happens to say unnamed road because I'm in a park, kind of hidden in the back here to do this part of this video. But the thing I like the most about it, in addition to kind of being easy to use, is that if you have to reroute and you have a 2018 or below, you know you want to kill the woman on here that says, rerouting. This thing is almost instantaneous. It's a big deal. I love this GPS. I love the new boombox. Yeah, I like better speakers, a little more bass, all that fun stuff. But for me, this is nice. Well, it's stock, right? So we all know that if you ride a Harley, a lot of folks, including myself, will do upgrades to the motorcycle and then sell it, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But it is a stock motorcycle. Now, this one is a 114. I'm coming from a 107, and you can, without a doubt, tell the difference. But it is a stock bike. Now, I'm trying to convince myself that I am not going to do a bunch of upgrades on this. You know how that goes. But the two things about the motorcycle that you got to realize when it comes stock, if this is important to you, if you are a tall rider, you can see the way the bars are set on this bike. You can see my arm has kind of this a bigger, if you will, not necessarily straight out, but there is an angle there. And I do feel that they are too close to me. Now, the guy at the dealership says you can actually move these a little bit forward. Whether that's the case or not, I'm sure it is, but he says it may not be enough. So realizing that if you were a tall guy and have tall arms, you are probably going to want to change the bars. So that obviously is an additional cost. And the second thing is, you know, it has stock exhaust on it, right? I don't necessarily need a new exhaust, but you know what? I will put slip-ons on it. There's no doubt about that. Just a matter of time. So to me, as of today, I will tell you that I will want to change out the slip-ons and the bars being first, because I think that's the thing that's the most comfortable. I am got some long trips planned, so I'll be able to give you more feedback on that after I put a couple thousand miles on it. And the last thing is, you know, it is an advantage to having an upgraded bike, if you will, whether you think the changes are enough to justify it or not. But I can definitely tell the difference in the 114 compared to the 107. Now, I'm not pulling all the horsepower and torque and all those stats out, but I will tell you initially, not only the ride, but the throttle response on this motorcycle, I can definitely tell a difference. I think it is something that you would not have to play with upgrades if you didn't want to do that, whether it's, you know, any of the Harley stages. I feel that it's really comfortable for me as is, other than what I talked about, you know, the exhaust and the bars. But we will see how that goes. But there is an advantage of you know, the newest or newer Harley motor as is being stock. So definitely happy about that as well. Well, that is it, folks. Well, those are my top 5 first impressions of Duchess, my 2021 Road Glide Limited. And, you know, after I get a couple thousand miles on her, I will make sure to do a Ultra Limited versus Road Glide, compare for you the pros and cons of each. Having an Ultra Limited for a couple of years and now having a Road Glide, I will be able to tell the differences, at least to an average rider like me, on how I feel they are. For today, we are going to continue to, Duchess and I are going to continue to get to know each other, do some riding, you know, enjoy the beautiful, beautiful landscape out here today, especially. And thanks for checking in on the video. Appreciate all of you, as usual. Thanks. Your time is valuable, and I appreciate you spending a few minutes of it with me. For this is Bodine52. Be safe, friends. Be vigilant. Check on a friend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.